Next in Fashion is finally returning to Netflix, and I, for one, couldn't be happier. Hey, welcome to Hollywood Happens, the very first and longest running entertainment show on the web. I'm John McQuilkin. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let's get right on into it. Next in Fashion is finally returning to Netflix after being off the air for a few years. So season 1 has already aired a few years ago, but they're finally coming out with a season 2, and it's going to premiere on Netflix on March 3rd of 2023. And I am so excited about that. And if you're watching this video, you're probably excited about Next in Fashion returning as well. This year, there's going to be a few changes. One of the changes is there's a new host. You guys probably already know supermodel Gigi Hadid is joining the original host, Tan France, on the show. And I know Gigi, she has a great personality, and I think she's going to be able to bring that personality to the show and connect with the contestants more, because she's a very bubbly and outgoing person, and I think she's a great fit for Tan France. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, if you're a fan of Gigi Hadid, leave a comment below. Let me know if you're looking forward to seeing her on the show as well. And it's not too soon to ask you to make sure you like this video if you enjoy videos of this content. So moving on, the next change they're going to do this year is there's going to be 12 individual contestants, and I am so happy about that. See, on the first season they had teams, and I hate teams, because what if the best fashion designer in the entire world has a teammate who's not the best, and they lose because of that teammate? So now the best designer in the whole world is going home because he's being judged as a team instead of individually. So I think they should be judged on their individual talents. So I'm glad that it's going to be 12 individual contestants vying for the first prize. Now, of the contestants that are vying for the prize, all of them this year are from the United States. As far as I can see, I researched this, but I could be wrong. I often am. But as far as I can see, they're all from the USA. I wish they would have had a more international group of contestants, but I know it makes it a lot easier for the producers if they hire people from the United States if they are shooting the show in the United States. I just wish they would have done that differently. And if you agree, if you're watching this from another country and you wish that your country would have been represented, I hear you, and I wish they would have as well. Okay, the next thing I want to say about this season is, of the contestants, the person I'm most looking forward to seeing is Keshawn Williams. What makes him unique is he has a disability. Only one hand functions properly, so he taught himself to sew with just one hand, and he designs the most beautiful garments you'll ever see with one hand. And he says when he was young, when he went to school, he was bullied a lot for being different and only being able to use one hand. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. For myself, you know, I had a slight disability growing up. I had a severe speech impediment, and on top of that, I stuttered. So people could not understand what I was saying, and then they would get impatient because I would stutter as I'm trying to say it, even though they can't understand a word I was saying. So I was made fun of because of my speech impediment, and I went to speech therapy from kindergarten until 6th grade. They used to actually drive me from the elementary school to the university, and the university students would teach me how to speak. The speech therapy should have continued after 6th grade, but for some reason it just stopped. But since then, I've taught myself how to speak. So I can relate to perhaps being made fun of for being different. So that's why I really connect with Keshawn Williams. I don't know him personally, but I do follow him on social media, and I've always been a big fan, and I think you'll be a big fan of his as well. And if you are already a fan of Keshawn, leave a comment below and let me know what you think of him. Now, hopefully, Keshawn will win, but we don't know who's going to win yet. But even if Keshawn doesn't win the top prize, which is $200,000, which the contestants can use to launch their brand, even if you don't win, the global exposure you're going to receive from this show is worth way more than $200,000. I know $200,000 sounds like a lot, but $200,000 couldn't buy you that type of global exposure that your brand is going to receive by being on season 2 of Next in Fashion. So, as a contestant, I'm speaking to you. If you get voted out the very first week, remember, that's not because you're a bad designer. You may be better than all of them, but perhaps Next in Fashion wasn't the right vehicle to bring your brand to the awareness of the public. And with this show and the exposure that you're going to get, you're going to go way beyond, even if you're voted out the very first week. So, if you guys are a fan of Next in Fashion, leave me a comment below. Like I said, I'm a fan of Keshawn Williams, but who are you a fan of? Have you researched the other contestants? If so, leave a comment below of who your favorite contestant is so that I can research them as well. If you're just a fan of fashion shows in general and you're just glad that Next in Fashion is returning, be sure to leave that comment as well, because I'm sure the Netflix executives who red-lighted this show for so long, I just spit when I spoke, who red-lighted this show for so long and finally gave it the green light, will be happy to know that there are a lot of eager people waiting to watch Next in Fashion. So that's it. That's it for today's show. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to have another show for you real soon. I promise you that. So until then, take care, everybody. I'm John McQuilkin, and I'll see you in Hollywood.